What would you be doing right now if you didn't follow your moral compass? Writing straight up lies on my resume as I look for new jobs. Just show up at your dream job and pretend you've been there for months. No joke, my dad got fired at Sam's Club and just went to another one and told him he got transferred and they believed him. Literal fraud. Following proper precautions, I imagine it's very lucrative and pretty difficult to get caught when performing credit card fraud. But I can't imagine living with myself when stealing from regular people just like me. The key to being a criminal, specifically when it comes to fraud or theft, is knowing when to quit. I love reading about criminals that get away with things for years and then get lazy and then get caught. Need to know when to go straight. Telling certain patients to fuck off. I want to take care of people. I don't want to be talked down to, yelled at, threatened, lied to for drugs, or so many other stupid things, all while smiling and biting my tongue. As a teacher, is also be telling some people, mostly parents, but sometimes students, to fuck off. There are students who do things that annoy me, or others, without knowing, realizing that what they're doing is a problem. It can get tiresome, but that's part of being a teacher, is pointing that out and helping them learn. But there are also kids who do things on purpose just to annoy me, derail class, bug their classmates. I'd tell them to fuck off. As a teenager, teachers need a lot more respect. Seeing how stupidly other kids treat the teachers, let alone parents. I had a history class where the teacher needed to give an hour-long speech on impulse control to 8th graders, which changed nothing. Unless you are actively mean to your students, you have my respect. Also, please take the effort to grade tests. As a student, test scores help me study for finals. I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but I needed to get that off my chest before the semester starts. I can't say exactly, but it starts with S and ends with selling drugs. Single quote. Oh, you're stopping people from selling drugs. How good and law-abiding of you. Well, at this moment in time I'd be doing the exact same thing. Staying up until 1 a.m. on Reddit. Simple yet self-destructive. Absolutely wrecking some 12-year-old's Minecraft world. I'd be married to a guy who owned his own airplane courier company. He was boring as fuck, but he was rich and into me. I could have used him for his money, but it just didn't feel right. I often think how my life might be different if I married the sugar mama I was dating. I'd be in a car driving away from my kids, leaving my sick wife to deal with the 2 little lunatics. I'm so exhausted I just want to sleep for 12 hours and not have to break up constant fights, screaming, crying about nothing. Bro, you alright? Not particularly, but there is nothing in the world money, friends or anything can do. This is one of those situations where you just need to bite down and fucking deal. I need to be there for my kids while my wife gets better. Hopefully I don't lose my job because I can't send them to daycare right now because testing is such a joke. The kids were up from 4 a.m. till 11:30 p.m. last night with no break really. My wife is on doctor's orders to not interact with them. The basement flooded. A tornado rolled through town. At least today they are asleep by 9 p.m. Oh, I have to go clean literal shit off a bunch of maybe COVID-19 contaminated shit from a bunch stuff in the basement right now, and I'm high risk. Packing for school. My dad tested positive for COVID this morning. And although I haven't been in close contact, he just got home from vacation, I have to get tested and it's recommended I quarantine 2 weeks regardless of the result. My college move-in day was supposed to be Saturday. I've been stuck at home for so long. Haven't seen my boyfriend in months. I was so ready to go and this setback has me losing my mind. But my moral compass is telling me I shouldn't put people at risk even if there's only a small chance of a false negative. I'm expecting to be negative. I wish everyone else actually took quarantine seriously. Seriously, thank you. I just started my studies and the whole goddamn university just shut down and went digital because one guy had symptoms. Tested himself but couldn't wait 2 more days for the results and came anyway. Yesterday he tested positive and everything is shut down and ruined thanks to just one impatient person. Thank you. Selling pics online. Your girl needs money. Congratulations. You've now pulled dozens of horny people that want to know why you choose to not sell nudes. This made me think a moral compass has close to zero effect on my moderate actions, which are mostly conditioned by shallowness, apathy, fear and social stupidity. I'm not doing anything significantly unethical not because I'm good, but because I'm dull. You'd be surprised. There are many small things in someone's day-to-day life that are affected by moral code. From making a mean comment online to deciding not to stuff yourself with ice cream. There are plenty of things you do and don't in your day-to-day life that betray and hint at the kind of person you think you should be. I'd have sugar daddies pay my rent and tuition. Seems like such a life hack. If you can actually pull this off, I'd say fucking go for it. If they are willing, get that cash money baby. From experience, a lot of people play games and act like they would. The moment you start getting serious, they will back off. Haha, I think I'd have a knack for it, and there's lots of money around here. It just seems so morally wrong. I still have years of schooling to get where I want to go, so maybe a few more years of trying to juggle work and school will entice me to change my mind. I do appreciate the encouragement though. It's so damn tempting. Probably joining the neighbor in fucking his wife while Doom soundtracks are blasting in the background instead of listening to it from the neighborhood while smoking. Getting laid. Since I do have a moral compass though, I'm sticking it out in my dead bedroom relationship, hoping that one day, when he's not so stressed out from work, he might actually notice me sad face. Exactly the same. Even if I didn't have a moral compass, I'd still have a brain and sense of self-preservation, which means anything that I'd be more willing to do I still wouldn't do to the consequences. I've long since pondered if there is such thing as morals. What we consider moral has changed over time. Many times. It's all social constrictions and consequences. And we do have people who do things they shouldn't, but mostly because they feel they can, and for the most part do get away with it. But if we had no social guidelines, people would give in to their id and do things we consider immoral. Look at something as simple as slavery. It was perfectly acceptable and not considered immoral before. And it was normal. If you are one to argue we have an internal compass that makes us magically know what is good or bad, then that situation would have never come about. Not to the degree or normalcy it did. So yeah, morals are a social construct that change over time. Who knows what we will consider moral or immoral 10, 30 or 100 years from now. Realistically, due to my poor impulse control and my hypersexuality thanks to my borderline personality disorder and PTSD, I'd probably rob as many places as possible, have sex with prostitutes, go back to being an ecstasy addict and hunt down and kill old friends and family who have broken my heart. I'd be a lawyer. Hey. Just because I drink and bowl now doesn't mean one couldn't have been a lawyer. I can't complain though. Not many people have had an action figure made of them.
If you did, be sure to
sleeping around as much as possible because it was fun and the thrill of it is hard to replace. It's not a morality issue. I'm in a monogamous relationship. I love her very much and we have a good sex life. But you know, those past days were fun too. Shout out to the weird Christian guilt I still have about sex despite ditching that religion at like 14. High school could have been a lot more fun. Definitely get it if you can get it. Hell yeah. I wish I had let go of a bunch of hang-ups in high school. Could have slept around a lot more when I think back. Cutting drugs. I know some drug dealers and one of them offered me a job cutting, measuring and packing cocaine and heroin, but I turned it down. I would either have to cut it at their place, which is always at risk of being busted while I'm there, or at my place, which I just refuse to do. I have cats. I'm not risking them licking some of that shit up. It's just not worth the risk. And also I don't really want to have a hand in someone else's addiction. I don't do drugs or even drink, because I grew up with a heroin-addicted mother. I don't want to do that to someone else's kid. Not that anyone will see this, but I just need to tell anybody. I'd be leaving my family to deal with my father's death so that I can go and be in my own home. By myself. And completely switch off and actually grieve. But they need me. Same. But with my mom's cancer diagnosis, it would be healthier for me to not be around everyone else grieving. Probably kill myself, to be honest. Every day feels the same as the last. I don't feel much anymore unless I do something risky. And I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I don't want to leave my girlfriend and parents like that though. So I haven't done it. I don't think I've been able to feel true happiness since I was a kid. Just not give a fuck about anyone and stop being nice. If you're stupid, I'll punch you. Modern medicine has gone too far. If natural selection don't cut it anymore, I will. I say the biggest problem with society today is we made a good bop to the nose something to be shunned. If more people knew that by acting a certain way they may end up on the bopped end of a bop to the nose, people would be much more polite. But then the people who are good at bopping people in the nose can take advantage of the people who aren't good at bopping people in the nose. It'd just be middle school bullies everywhere. Honestly, having sex with a woman. I don't know if I'm gay or bi or what, but I know I'm with a man, but I really want to have sex with a woman. If your current relationship goes bust, you should go for it. Worst case scenario, you don't like it.
If you did, be sure to
I would have cheated on multiple partners multiple times and would probably be enemies with my boyfriend's best friend. Definitely would have held a couple dozen people at gunpoint. Fucking another man. I've only fucked my husband. It would be interesting to know what it's like to fuck someone else. Except I won't, because it would be wrong. My partner and I are both dieting today, so no booze or treats. If I had no moral compass, I would be drinking and eating whatever I wanted in from of them and ignoring their complaints. You're a good partner. Thanks on behalf of someone who wouldn't have the support. It really would mean the world. Sucks. Big time. But should be appreciated. Probably just rip my sister a new asshole, verbally for the most part, unless she gets violent, which she tends to do. She is racist, LGBT phobic, I'm out as pansexual, and has stolen from my mum probably about 28 times and my somehow still lets her back. Sounds like there are no moral obligations preventing you from verbally correcting her behavior.